when I've been to countries and I've been to Hindu temples in various countries, I've always been. It's very colourful as well. It's a very
Yes,
colourful
yes.
religion, isn't it? It's very
Yes, yes. So if you don't, if that's actually bringing on quite a good point, Tanya, because I don't know if you've ever experienced or seen the Holi festival, HOLI. For the
no.
Hindus, it's the festival of colour where you'll see everybody in the streets throwing coloured powder over each other.
Oh yes.
Yes, well, that's called Holi, and that means that we're going into the spring. It's a whole era of the summer, the spring, which is huge for Hindus. So if you see a Holi festival, it's when people are all gathered round and they're just enjoying themselves and chucking colours, and everyone's wearing colourful clothes, and you all end up looking like a rainbow with all these colours. I was once in Mauritius when Holi was on, and it was amazing because it was nothing like what we ever do in this country. It's just amazing to be there in the middle of the crowds experiencing it.
Gosh, that does sound amazing.
That happens in March, and it's the change of seasons. Holi is the change of seasons. We're coming out of the dark, dreary winter months and going into the happy summer, spring months.
Gosh, yeah, how lovely. That sounds amazing. Gosh, can you tell us about any other festivals?
Yeah, I can. Obviously, I would have thought, majority of people have heard of Diwali.
Yeah.
October, November time. I'm being very sort of relaxed with the days and months because Hindus follow a lunar calendar. So it's so many days different from the normal calendar, the calendar we follow. So it can be different days because we follow the lunar. Diwali is when they were imprisoned in the forest in the dark for days, 120 days, 12, went on and on and on. It's the first day that God came out of the forest. So the light, he was followed by a candle, a light. So that's why it's Diwali. So huge celebrations, probably one of the main celebration for Hindus because it's our equivalent of Jesus Christ at Christmas.
Right, it's a really important festival.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think listening to you talking, it's really interesting how we're all very different. We come from different faiths and we are different identities, but actually we're the same as well. We still enjoy community, we still enjoy festivals, we still enjoy celebrating, and but we just do it in very different ways, don't we? And it's so exciting.
But as a Hindu, I would say Diwali is probably the most important festival for us. There are loads of religious festivals, Mahashivratri, there's loads, but that Diwali is our Christmas for Hindus. It's where we exchange gifts, we light up the house, but the house is lit up from 6 o'clock because that's when he was released from the dark woods. So it's from 6 o'clock, you light all your house up with little a fairy light. That's what happens, we do in this country. If you go back to where, like home, Mauritius, it will be huge. It'll be huge. It'll be the people will be dancing in the street, going around houses. So we've sort of missed out the last 2 Diwalis because of COVID, really. So
yeah.
We couldn't go and visit, but that's another one. And another one I'd say, which is very important for Hindus, is Rakhi. It's the brother and sister celebration in August usually, and it is when the sisters tie a red thread or gold thread. I think you might have seen them, Tanya, that a lot of Asian people wear on their wrists, and they tie that to symbolise they're thanking their brothers for protecting them, looking after them. We're going back to the very sort of old days when the brother was the earner, looked after the women in the house as well as the dad. So that tradition is still carried on. We always did it when we were growing up.
Oh, I hadn't heard of that before. That's really interesting. Oh, thank you for sharing that.
Bhajan, it's called. They tie a little string, sisters to brother, and the brothers give a gift to the sisters, little bit, whatever they want to give, but it's just to appreciate them because the brother is classed as the man of the house as well as dad.
Gosh, I didn't know about that. Definitely learned something.
Yeah, so that's Rakhi. I'd say Rakhi, Diwali, Holi are the festivals we still carry on as a family in this country.
Gosh, yeah, that's lovely. They're really fascinating. Thank you for sharing that with us. I'm just wondering how do weddings and other sort of ceremonies?
Yeah. So weddings are usually a 4-day event if we follow it traditionally. Okay. So it will start from Thursday through to Sunday or Monday. Gosh. So the Hindu ceremony is the one where the fire is in the room and you walk around 7 times to accept all the rituals of life and how you're going to be when you're married. But their weddings basically are a huge celebration, very costly because obviously the bride's family have to pay. But now, Tanya, to be honest, it's very different. They're not 4 days. They're probably half of that, 4 or 5 days, sorry. They're probably half of that. And the bride and groom are very, they want it in how they'd like it set in their ways. So it's very different from when I got married, let's just say.
Okay. So, but again, a celebration of bringing together
2 families.
Bringing together 2 families, and
it's not that. It's the Hindus. It's not about the bride and groom getting married. It's the unification, joining of 2 families.
Gosh.
Yeah, and it's not just a wedding of food and drink, because when obviously my parents got married, it was no alcohol, no meat at the wedding. Obviously, years gone by, that's completely changed. But it's still, you still have your religious ceremonies, the bride and groom before the wedding, the actual wedding, and then the post celebration so you have this 3 days of non-meat eating and no alcohol, which is very different now. I'm just talking traditionally, and then post wedding, it's you cook for the whole wedding party as much meat, fish, and drink alcohol, because it's the unification of the 2 families.
Oh gosh, that's really interesting. How about
oh, sorry, Taylor, I would just say one thing. A Hindu ceremony is not legal in the United Kingdom.
Okay,
so we have to have a registry signing of the book, as well as our Hindu traditional ceremony.
Okay.
So it's 2 weddings.
2 weddings. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're not. No, we have to. Our ceremonies are not seen as legal in this country.